domestic production and export development with a fourfold strategy. 1. Reduce the country's import bill in the short, medium, and long term. Enhance domestic productive capacity in selected products. Generate widespread employment opportunities. And 4. Diversify and expand our export capacity to Africa and beyond, especially through the vehicle of the African Continental Free Trade Area. In 2021, Ghana's total import bill was put at $13.7 billion United States dollars, according to GRA icons. On the evidence of existing local productive capacity, we have identified a list of 20 priority products in the categories of primary agricultural products, processed foods, and manufactured goods, where we can confidently enhance domestic production. Amongst these are rice, fish, poultry, fruit juice, sugar, tomatoes, vegetable oils, oil palm, fertilizers, pharmaceuticals, soaps and detergents, insulated wire, ceramic products, corrugated paper and paperboard, cement and clinker, and motor vehicles. The report on implement the policy, market training and technical skills, compliance and quality assurance support, and business development support services that will enable them start, build, and grow their own businesses. Mr. Speaker, the U-Style program was successfully piloted in 2022, with 70 youth-led businesses benefiting from the initial 1.98 million cedis. Subsequently, a total of 288,800 applications have been received and are being processed by the Ghana Enterprise Agency for full operation. Mr. Speaker, government remains committed to infrastructure development. Working with the private sector, we continue to explore the use of public-private partnership arrangements as a financing alternative to the delivery of critical public infrastructure, such as the Accra-Tema motorway extensions, Accra-Takoradi motorway, and the Sogankope-Lome transboundary water supply projects. In addition, Mr. Speaker, the $750 million United States dollar Afro-Exim Bank facility, which has been secured, will make it possible for us to construct many other roads and interchanges, including the long-awaited four-tier Swami interchange. Mr. Speaker, we have now reached the point where we feel the impact of technology as an irreversible way of life. We have digitized many processes. The Ghana card has become a one-stop shop for Ghanaian identity and its usages. We are fully convinced that our embrace of an investment in information technology and the digital infrastructure will help us to redefine our traditional concepts of time, space, speed, and nature of conducting business within our society, economy, and culture. Information technology helps all segments of society to be integrated and transformed through connectivity in facilitating the production, distribution, and consumption of information within the whole economy and society. We have integrated many processes within the digital environment, and for this, we have to recognize the efforts of many component parts of the government, such as the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization, the National Identification Authority, and especially Dr. Alhaji Mahood Bawumia, who I understand has been nicknamed E. Bawumia. Our need for technological reinforcement within all our structures and spaces is unending, and we will continue to push the frontiers of our engagement with the technologies of information, economic development, and human transformation. We must be cheered by the improvements being made in the National Health Insurance Scheme to make access easier. The scheme is currently one of the better digitalized institutions, and I hope they get the public support that they need. I note in particular with satisfaction that they have developed a self-enrollment mobile application, My NHIS, to self-enroll in the scheme, and this enables registration and renewal for oneself and others by linking NHIS cards to Ghana Card. 2022, over 5 million members' data was linked to their Ghana Card to enable them to access health care using the card. The National Health Insurance Authority has also improved its claim management processes with an emphasis on e-claims and paperless systems at all 4 claims processing centers. In the year under review, electronic claims processing was about 70% of all claim submissions. As of 31st December 2022, the scheme paid a total of 1.014 billion cedis to health service providers. Mr. Speaker, our drone delivery service is firmly established. In Ghana now has 6 centers with zipline drone services, making Ghana the largest aerial logistics distribution network in the world. Zipline, through the National Drone Delivery Services, has delivered some 14.8 million units of life-saving medicals, vaccines, and blood products to health facilities in Ghana by the end of 2022. Childhood vaccines top the list with the delivery of 8.3 million doses, followed by 2.05 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines. Mr. Speaker, I must say, however, that the current shortage of some childhood vaccines in the country has concerned me greatly. This shortage, if prolonged, will affect negatively Ghana's childhood immunization program, which has been recognized as one of the most successful in the world. The WHO has only recently expressed worry about a steady decline in measles vaccination coverage globally because of the concentration on the fight against COVID-19. In accordance with our desire not to become part of this global trend, government has taken steps to ensure the stocks of these vaccines are procured and supplied as a matter of urgency and emergency. The Ghana Health Service has developed an elaborate program to catch up on children who have missed their vaccine immediately stocks arrive. Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage all parents and caregivers to ensure that eligible children are vaccinated once this program begins. No child should be denied access to vaccination. Mercifully so far, not a single child has died as a result of the outbreak. This House has already passed into law the National Vaccine Institute Bill, which is yet to be brought for my assent. In the near future, this institute will ensure that no matter what happens to the global vaccine supply chain, we can produce our own vaccines locally. Mr. Speaker, government continues to prioritize agriculture as one of the driving forces for economic transformation. The experiences and lessons from the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine conflict justify sufficiently our increased investment in the agricultural sector. Indeed, the sector recorded significant successes with an average growth rate of 6.28% from 2017 to 2021. This consistent growth over the period has translated into improved food security, job opportunities along agricultural value chains, and availability of raw materials for industry. To address the vexed issue of post-harvest losses, we have constructed some 65 warehouses, with the remaining 15 at advanced stages of completion. This intervention is adding some 80,000 metric tons to national grain storage capacity. $29.9 million United States dollars worth of machinery and equipment have been procured from Brazil to boost mechanization. Government will this year commence preparatory works for establishing a tractor and backhoe loader assembly plant in the Ashanti region, and continued capacity building of operators to ensure effective management and prolong the lifespan of agricultural machinery. Mr. Speaker, the impact of climate change and variability on global agricultural activities is a call to all of us, and indeed all countries, to adopt appropriate technologies and other innovative practices for sustainable agriculture and resilience against food insecurity. The government's response, among others, has been to continue to invest in irrigation infrastructure, both large and small scale, across the country. In 2022, government completed the rehabilitation and modernization of large-scale irrigation schemes at Tono, Bong, and Bong Left Bank projects. The three schemes are expected to provide 6,760 hectares of irrigable land for all year-round crop production. Phases 1 and 2 of the Tamale irrigation project have also been completed, with Phase 3 of the project at 57% completion. Mr. Speaker, we are now at the most difficult stage of electricity provision around the country. The parts that are left are the very difficult to access area. The national electricity access rate increased from 79.3% in 2016 to 88.54% in 2022, making us amongst the top 6 in Africa, and we're still expecting to achieve the 90% universal electricity rate by 2024. To reduce transmission system losses and voltage fluctuations, and to improve the overall quality of power supply, old lines are being replaced on the western, eastern, coastal, and middle corridors. It is worth noting that 3 new substations have been commissioned between 2021 and 2022, thereby improving reliability and efficiency. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to inform the House that the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, has since the last quarter of 2022 embarked on an aggressive digital transformation program. In the first phase of this program, set to be completed by end of April 2023, the focus is on creating a cashless and efficient payment system. I'm pleased to announce that on 1st March 2023, all ECG district offices became cashless. This is a major achievement by all standards. Since the start of this transformational program, we have so far seen a 25% increase in the monthly revenues. The second phase of the program will see the digitization of postpaid bills and the digital tagging of all meters. In our estimation, these initiatives should increase the monthly revenues of ECG by some 40% before the end of this year. I firmly believe that the initiatives which have been so boldly rolled out by ECG will make revenue leakage a thing of the past and address consumer pain points in their interactions with ECG. Mr. Speaker, we continue the fight against galamsey with the support of the security agencies in the short term. However, we're determined to promote responsible small-scale mining through community mining schemes. So far, 16 of these schemes have been commissioned, with 3 more to be commissioned by the end of this year. All these schemes are supported with gold cutters, pieces of equipment designed to help small-scale miners to extract gold from the ore without the use of mercury. In 2021, I launched the National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program. The program employs several youth in the production of seedlings and reclamation of degraded mine lands. Currently, reclamation is going over 1,000 hectares of degraded lands in Ashanti, Eastern, and Western North regions. Mr. Speaker, on the international front, I should state that having gained a seat as a non-permanent member of the Security Council for the years 2022 and 2023, Ghana, as one of 3 non-permanent African members, is working vigorously to push the African agenda, which includes the fight against terrorism and the reform of the UN Security Council. I'm pleased to state that good progress is being made on the reform of the UN Security Council. A U.S. president, for the first time in the person of President Joe Biden, and the French president, Emmanuel Macron, have both embraced the reform process. It is our hope that the leaders of the 3 other P5 members of the Security Council will soon do the same and help bring about this much-needed reform that will bring greater effectiveness to the work of the United Nations and the Security Council in the maintenance of international peace and security. We continue to be active members of the African Union and ECOWAS and support strongly measures both bodies have taken against unconstitutional changes in government in our region. We're working with our partners in the region to strengthen regional cooperation in the fight against the terrorist menace in West Africa, hence our commitment to the Accra Initiative. Mr. Speaker, our decision to prioritize tourism as a key policy for economic diversification, job creation and growth is clearly paying off. The World Economic Forum report of 2021 Travel Index ranks Ghana as the #1 tourism destination in West Africa. The potential contribution of tourism and the arts to GDP is therefore one that we must nurture and emphasize. Both domestic and international tourism are rebounding significantly from the severely disruptive impact of COVID on the travel and tour industry. International arrivals nearly trebled last year from a low of 355,158 in 2020 to over 915,000. Domestic visits to tourist sites are also up by over 55.7% during the period. All these have been made possible by deliberate marketing initiatives and upgrades of tourist infrastructure by the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture and its agency, the Ghana Tourism Authority. The Beyond the Return initiative, which I launched in 2019 as a sequel to the Year of Return, has reignited excitement about Ghana as the hub and a mecca for the global Pan-African, a home every person of African descent must visit at least once in their lifetime. A few days ago, at a historic ceremony in Washington, D.C., we conferred Ghanaian citizenship on Mother Viola Fletcher and her brother, Uncle Red, 108 years and 102 years respectively, 2 of the only 3 living survivors of the Tulsa massacre of 1921. In May this year, I'll be chairing a tourism stakeholder retreat on rethinking tourism for national development and job creation. I've tasked the ministry and its agency, the Ghana Tourism Authority, to work on the modalities to bring together all the stakeholders within the industry. Over the next couple of years, my government will deepen even further our efforts to make tourism a strong primary source of growth for the economy. Mr. Speaker, Monday was 6 March, our Independence Day, and this year we had the main celebrations in the Volta region. I made the decision to rotate the Independence Day anniversary celebration in order to enhance the cohesion and unity of our nation and to make it clear to all segments of our population that we are all part of the One Ghana project. I'm glad to inform the House that it was a happy and grand event set against the breathtakingly beautiful background of the Adaklu Mountains. Mr. Speaker, 60 years since our independence, Ghana has taken steady strides to become a more developed country. The Ghana of 1957 is not the Ghana of 2023. We've come a long way since the days of our 6 million population, with very few modern amenities for its people. Today's population of 32 million, with a growing stock of modern infrastructure, spanning drones to supply our medicine, to the Ghana card which identifies each of us as proudly Ghanaian. As President, I have championed the innovation of policies and the execution of projects that will help improve the quality of life of the Ghanaian people. And God willing, I'll continue on a path that brings the most benefit to the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, things may be dire today. Nevertheless, we must count our blessings. Our petrol stations have fuel, and we've been spared long winding queues to fuel our vehicles. Our markets and shops are, by the grace of God, well stocked, and we have not been faced with the prospect of the rationing of basic necessities such as fruits and vegetables. Our children's schooling has not been interrupted. We've continued to provide free SHS, free TVET, and paid teacher and nursing training allowances. Our electricity supply has been consistent, and we have been spared the hardship of doing so during such a trying time. Our country continues to be stable and at peace. Throughout history, there are many instances of nations going through periods where dark clouds create shadows that momentarily shield the yearned-for vision from sight. Such moments should not be ones in which despair takes over. Such moments call for strength of character, sense of purpose, and an abiding commitment to the general good. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, fellow Ghanaians, let us believe in ourselves and in our capacity to overcome the problems that are before us. This is a phase, and with every fiber of my being, I am certain that this too shall pass. We have done it before, and we will do it again. May God bless us all in our homeland, Ghana, and make her great and strong. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for your attention.
Well delivered. Well delivered. Honorable members, honorable members, In accordance with Standing Order 58, I wish to convey to His Excellency the President the gratitude of the House. Honorable members, again, in accordance with the practice of this House, a formal communication will be forwarded to His Excellency the President after the House has thoroughly debated this address. In fact, the leadership generously decided to use more than a week to debate this address. And honorable members will all have enough time to have a say. And that is why I wanted you to listen first before you can respond. I want to thank all of you for the cooperation, and particularly His Excellency for attending upon the House to perform a constitutional duty. We are extremely grateful. Honorable Majority Leader, is there any indication regarding, I'm going to restrict you, the adjournment of the House? In other words, Honorable Leader, can you move for an adjournment?
Speaker, we have listened to the President, who was on his feet for 1 hour, 20 minutes, to indeed lead us on a path of righteousness, to really identify where indeed we are as a country. The facts and figures do speak for themselves. But of course, the Speaker, as we have all seen, nearly thereafter, some people rose up and sang a chorus that all belie. Mr. Speaker, as you said, we are going to have ample time to debate the content as presented to us. But clearly, what we have seen is symptomatic of what we are going to say from tomorrow. We have made up our minds. Don't convince us with facts. That is the attitude of some people. And the Speaker, is 12 noon, not yet 2 o'clock, and preparatory to the beginning of the debate tomorrow, and not to dilute whatever has been said and indeed presented to us and to the nation. Speaker, I would on this occasion move that this House stands adjourned until tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the forenoon. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, first, let me also thank His Excellency the President for the presentation of the message of the state of the nation. But Mr. Speaker, Mr. President, there is indeed a widespread of despair and disenchantment among our people. Millions of Ghanaians are going through unbearable hardships and excruciating pains. Our economy is in its worst shape in decades. In fact, Ghana's economy is bankrupt or insolvent. we are currently unable to repay our debt. Ghana has officially defaulted in the repayment of our debt since January 2022. Mr. Speaker, yet, Mr. President, your government is failing to cut down on the size of government and public expenditure. Ghana is witnessing hyperinflation, largely because, Mr. President, your government allowed the Bank of Ghana to print 50 billion Ghana cedis for the year 2022 and another 4 billion Ghana cedis in the year 2023 first quarter. Mr. President, let it be noted that this expenditure financed public expenditure on the overbloated government expenditure. Our position is that inflation is currently rising. Monetary policy rate is also at 28%. Ghana cedi is at has depreciated by 20% in January alone. Mr. President, unemployment is exceedingly high at the record levels. And as we speak, Mr. President, lending rate is at 40%. Mr. President, our economy is in tatters largely because it is self-inflicted. Your government inflicted it on us and failed to act. Mr. President, this is your scorecard. This is your scorecard. And this is the true state of our nation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I second the motion.
Honorable members, I'm sure you now see the wisdom in my earlier statement restricted them to just move the motion for adjournment. You all know I was there before. Experience is the best teacher. I now put the question. As many as are in favor of adjournment, say aye. As many as are against, say no. Honorable members, I put the question again. As many as are in favor of amendment, say aye. Aye. As many as are against, say no. Honorable members, Today is International Women's Day. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate all our beautiful ladies here and all ladies in the world for partnering men to get us this far. I want to assure all the women that I am here for you. Honorable members, as a result of that, with the request of the women caucus leaders in Parliament, I approved a facility for all our women here to proceed tomorrow to reach out to all women in their constituencies and women everywhere in the world. Honorable members, this is part of the 30-year celebration, and I want all the men, honorable men here, to partner the women to make an impact this year. With this, I put the question again. How many times you got? As many as are in favor of adjournment, say aye. As many as are against, say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The House is accordingly adjourned till Thursday, 9th March. Thursday, 9th March, 2023 at 10 o'clock in the forenoon. The House is adjourned.
Oh, really? Concerning handball. Handball. Oh, okay. So it's with me. I said I'll deliver it. All right. So I'll give it to Esther now.
In my office. Let them bring my office.
Please.